Alright, greetings Pinadians, and welcome to the event breakdown for the version 264 patch. And before I get started, I would like to first make some notes. Well, first of all, I'm going to probably look to the right every so often to look at my notes for everything I've jotted down for each component of the event to make sure I don't pass along any information that's incorrect or say anything wrong. Although, due to the fact there's about 23 specific event components to this patch, I will not doubt there's going to be some errors here and there. But, as we usually do, don't forget, always be sure to check the official patch notes on the official website, or look in the description or the comments if there's any actual pinned information for any corrections that need to be done, as Nexon does, or sometimes don't do any post or patch previews or patch corrections, which is typically their MO, but other than that, let's get started. The first of which is Wanderer's Travelogue, and this one's only applicable, as you can probably tell, to Wrens specifically. This one is going to be a weekly kill and level boss objective style part of your actual event. As you can see, the weekly missions will reset every Tuesday to Wednesday in-game reset, which is simply just doing 10,000 kills on your Wren, which honestly, per week, that should not be hard depending on how fast you level up your Wren to begin with. And if you look at the step-up mission, this is both a combination of regular objectives and kills. This one, I believe that one says an actual levels, and these are just kills. Oh yeah, it actually does say levels right there. So, there's going to be two of those main components for Wanderer's Travelogue, and if you scroll down, you'll see generally what the actual rewards are going to be. Let's see, for every 2,000 kills, you can also defeat 2x XP coupon. Oh, actually, I thought that was a error because it said 3x here and 2x here, but it looks like you get extra benefits. Scrolling down, we got a bunch of other things that we can actually see. Standard stuff, 5th job love advancement, 235, doing C-Vel. Wait, why would you put C-Vel after 235? That seems a little weird. I would have flipped that. But okay, next on. So, pretty much standard. Next part of the event is the Tracks of the Wanderer. This one is a pretty much just, I don't know why they didn't just like combo it up with this one, because this is pretty much just another batch of level up and objectives reach style objectives that you gotta do. But either way, more rewards. You get a free little pet, you get a pretty decent damage skin, and you get a nice little chair. And a bunch of other miscellaneous cosmetics and whatnot. I'm hoping this one actually, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys, but the backgrounds you unlock is not, yeah, oh, it is account bound. Good, because I actually want this on my Aaron. That looks really nice. And the next part of the event is get a Sayaroid. This is literally, as you can probably tell from the bottom left corner of the screen, it's literally just a click and claim. And remember, you can only get once per account, so it's not a bad looking android. And the rest of this patch notes from here on out are just going to be a bunch of the actual like updates. So let's go to the next part. The next part is officially going to be the Twilight Eve's event. And Twilight Eve specifically is just a general base event stuff, the UI, going over general stuff that you actually have to look at here. You can stop here and look at it, or go to the patch notes specifically for it if you need it. I do apologize for rubbing my face all the time. I'm currently sick, and you can probably tell from my nasally voice. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, and after that is going to be the Waking of the Power of Time. This one is going to unlock after you've accepted the base event, as most events have. And from here, you're going to have a weekly collections goal. This one is a pretty packed piece of content. So I do apologize if I get anything wrong or anything if I misspeak on. But let's see. I'm going to go component by component. I'm not going to have the UI up just because it's going to be a little bit difficult to go scroll up and down over and over. For the weekly collection goal, this one is going to fill up by completing each goal, which will be further down. Let's see. You are required to collect Sands of Time. Oh, wait. I'm incorrect. What did I write down there? Oh, that's, yeah, same thing. Yep. So pretty much just total participation, which I believe, which collection goal? Where did I put that? Alright, but here are the goals for this one. Accumulating Sands of Time. There are 2 ways to accumulate Sands of Time. Oh yeah, here we go. Accumulating the Sands of Time are required by actually soloing these specific bosses. And if I remember correctly, from what I've read, you only have to clear the highest ranked boss that you can solo. So for example, it probably says it further down. Yeah, right here. For example, after defeating Hard Lotus and you obtain 4 Sands of Time, even if you defeat Hard Damien or Normal Will, since they also give you 4 of the Sands, right here. Yep. Oh wait, from right here. Yeah, that's the difference one. So those gives you 5. So if you did Hard Lotus, you only get 4. But if you do Hard Will, you only get the extra difference, which means you'll just get 1, since this one gives you 5. So you gotta clear one of these bosses solo to get those maximum amount of sands. And the objective resets every Tuesday to Wednesday, so a day before the weekly boss reset. I don't know why Nexon still doesn't bother synchronizing those up, but regardless, Nexon does what Nexon does. Let's see, as for the Prelude participation gift, this one is just a Sands of Time cumulative rewards. So even if you don't get like the maximum per week, which there's, according to my calculations, should be 11 weeks or 12, but regardless, since you can only get 10 sands per week, these are the rewards that you can get if you get those cumulative totals. So, solo what you can, and if I also remember correctly, practice mode also counts. Yep. Don't think you're ready to try yet? You can still earn sands of time after defeating the boss in practice mode. So, if you solo, or if you do, like, for example, if you do X Lotus with a party, with a duo partner, you can still practice for do a solo in practice mode to try to get the rewards as well. So, good luck with that. And I'm actually kind of surprised Normal Calling's there, too. Memory might be a little bit foggy, but I could have sworn Normal Calling was lower. But regardless. Oh, Normal Calling is actually only worth 9. That's actually not bad. I was expecting worse. Alright. And let's see. Power of Time, Effect, and Goals. Alright. I had a little bit of a hard time reading through this because I'm trying to interpret what it means. I don't know if these are per week or they go through the entire event, as each one gives you different specific things. So, if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this. I do apologize. I will do my best to make an update video, as I'm probably going to need to do an actual live post-patch update, so I do apologize for double dipping. But I'm going to assume each specific week is going to have their own specific benefit, and then the next week will remove the ones previously. I am hoping I'm wrong, because having multiple extra Monster Park EXPs on top of what we're going to see later in the patch, I'm going to hope we actually could double dip. But for the time being, I'm going to assume they are 1 week only and they're deleted the next week over. And there are quite a lot of these. They're up to 11 weeks. Yeah. And I believe we also get this. They finally added more of these character select screen coupons. Honestly, I'm surprised Nexon doesn't sell these outright. I would probably buy some. Alright, the next part of the event is the Evernia's? Yeah, bounty event. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but it is what it is. I suck at this. Alright, the participation rewards are as follows. This is just a daily check-in reward. Let me check. Yep, daily check-in. Each of this will give you a cumulative 3x EXP coupons that I believe you will be able to claim from the UI like we have from the previous event. And it'll give you 5 ginseng and 5 licorice. Licorice? English. These are going to be used for the event skills later down the patch. Also, I will do my best to have the calculator updated and posted on another video. So if you don't see it tonight or tomorrow, I do apologize, but I will work my best to make a guide for this one. Once again, it'll be going Monster Park EXP, Arcane, and then Grandis. Obviously, if you don't follow my Arcane and or Grandis priorities, just flip them on the guide. I'll have it noted there as well. And as usual, if you miss any check-ins, you'll be able to spend 3k Maple Points for each missed day. And it's pretty much just going to show you all the rewards from the event UI. There is a lot of stuff. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't actually show the actual event UI. I don't know why they didn't do that. Seems lazy if you ask me. Alright, those are the rewards, and then you got the Evernium's Exchange. This is just the stuff that you can actually spend your actual currency that you get per week in the actual store. I recommend that you actually look through all of this to see what you want, as everything is hard-coded to expire. Yeah, this time, for some reason, they have this hard-coded for 2 hours after the event ends. Next time, this is a personal request, just keep it consistent. Stop doing 14 hours, stop doing 2 hours. Why are they always different? It's so dumb. But that's the shop, and the next part of the event is Seeking Traces of Time. Let me scroll down. This is going to be your weekly boss kill currency. And if I recall, this one... Let's see, these are not solo, right? Nope. I do not think that these are solo. Yeah, so you can actually just do it in... Yeah, you could. These are based off the parties, so there's that. All right. Also, a little bit of a note: if you're watching this before the maintenance, if you read the specific line here, if you defeat a weekly boss before maintenance, you cannot receive any of these currency items for that kill. So, once the patch is finished and you want to try and squeeze it in, assuming they don't do extended maintenance, knock on wood. But yeah, you can go ahead and do it in practice mode to get those rewards as well. So, I'm going to assume, since it doesn't explicitly say it, you could do this in party mode, because there's no way anyone soloing normal Baldrex already. No, maybe regular server, but not us. So, from there, there's going to be two different currencies. What was it called again? One was called Dark Traces, and the other one's called Traces of Time. So yeah, there's going to be some different ones for these specific ones that you can clear, so thankfully I'm just started doing these, so I'm going to be able to take advantage of these myself. I'm going to try and do an Exodus solo before maintenance, if we have time. But yeah, I'll have a makeshift TLDR, post-patch to-do list posted, hopefully before maintenance finishes. But once again, I'm going to be a little bit strapped for time on that. And as per usual, those traces of time and the dark traces of time that you accumulate from those boss kills, you can spend in their own individual shop. And I recommend people budget, because Karma, Abyssal, Black Flames are back again. I got a lot of Genesis weapons I got to work on in Eternals. Let's see. The next batch is going to be the Bloom's Herb Baskets. This one is going to be, like I mentioned earlier, which I believe is from the Evernia's Bounty. Yep, Evernia's Bounty are going to be the ones where you can actually spend your specific points. And as I mentioned earlier, I will do my best to update this calculator. Once again, the priority on that calculator is going to be noted on the actual spreadsheet itself and in that video once I do post it. But it's going to go Monster Park, Arcane River, and then Grandest Dailies. And as usual, if you don't care about Arcane River for your mules to get priority for the levels, like I usually do, just flip Grandest and Arcane. Or if you don't care about Arcane at all, just remove it and replace it with somebody else. Although I don't really think anything else is even worth it. But yeah, pretty standard, only this time they cost a different amount per level 6, as there's our 11 weeks for this event, so the number is going to be a little bit weird. So it's going to be 25 of the event currencies per week, but it will not be enough to get one of them to level 6 on the first week. So the numbers might be non-agreeable from what I'm going to be posting on the spreadsheet. As I mentioned, you can make it yourself as well. Just make a copy of the spreadsheet and just change the numbers as you feel. And this is just showing the numbers as usual, like it usually does. Let's see. And then you got the Eternal Gilded Clockwork is the next component of this event. And this one, I believe, is the only one that ends the earliest. I think this one ends right on the 16th, which means that's the next patch. This looks like, I think, a 3 or 4 patch event in general. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. But the Gilded Clockwork item and the Eternal Gilded Clockwork both drop from mobs. The Gilded ones can be used 10 times total per day. So these are their own right a Hexa and VIP booster that spawns mobs that we've already seen before. The Gilded ones just being, from like I can tell, normal ones. And the Eternal one, I'm going to assume is going to be, well, it gives you more EXP as it says right there. But I'm going to assume it's going to be harder to get and way more lucrative. And I think these guys don't expire until the end of the event like the other ones did, right? Nope, don't see it. And then as an added bonus, they do not have a daily use limit like VIP boosters do. Oh yeah, it says each booster. I was actually wondering why it's highlighting all of them, but yeah. So yeah, this one, they don't actually have a use limit stacked on top. So you could use 10 VIPs and 10 Gilded, and unlimited Hexa, because they never actually put a limit on Hexa booster. I used 125 that one time. But yeah. The next part of the event is the Lepa's Dashing Carriage. This is going to be your event training skill. And thankfully, thank God, since I'm going to be training multiple characters per day now, this is going to have if I counted correctly, where did I note you? It was 10, right? Oh, no. 15 daily uses per day per character. This is going to activate an EXP skill that will boost the amount of EXP that you get. So I highly recommend that everyone tries to time it with your VIP booster uses as well as your rune EXP if you can. Unless you don't care like I do, if you're going to be doing a large training session. But the TLDR on that is, if you're only going to do one WAP, try and time it with the rune. Otherwise, don't. If you're going to be doing multiple runes WAPs per day, definitely time it with the runes. And the next part is the Eve Anticipation. This is going to be the EXP room, EXP AFK room, and for some reason, this one is noted to be capped at 294. Yeah, I'm being told by my sources, specifically Wacky Beans, what he mentioned, it's the same as the other rooms, but it scales the limit above what we've had before, which I believe the previous limit was 289. This one scales up to 294. I don't know how good that is, but I highly recommend everyone keeps an eye out on the Wacky Beans website and looks like their AFK content to see what they update the numbers to. Who knows? I might actually give it a go. How much do you get? 15.2 mil EXP per 5 seconds. I don't actually know what level there are. After that, it's just the Meso Shop. And if anyone's actually wondering what the Sealing Wand coupon is, that's available in Challenger Worlds only, take note, this is specific for another part of the event, which we will cover in a little bit. I will not be attempting to make a guide for this, because I have no idea what the heck I read when I was making this video. So, a bunch of items that you can buy from Meso Shop, and, ooh, hello, V-Hilla Android. we're going to be buying 5 of you. And moving on, we have Challenger World specific events. These are just going to be the standard one. I don't know why they didn't include the UI. I could have actually explained things better, but unfortunately, we'll have to make do. So, the Challenger World perks are going to be the same as usual for the most part, generally speaking. Starter items, Terror Burning Gift, etc., etc. Same hunting missions, leveling missions that we have per week. Specifically, the hunting missions per week, the leveling ones just in general. Bossing as well, and... Let's see, if the mission lists defeating Lotus in either normal or hard difficulty, defeating extreme Lotus will count as completing the hard difficulty mission. Excuse me? Where are you? Uh-huh. Okay, that's stupid. Oh wait, this is Challenger World. Ain't no one gonna be doing that. Alright. And as per usual, like last time, it only counts if it's in solo, so you can't do this in a party of 2 or more. And you can actually do this in practice mode, which I'm probably going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing a lot of bosses now over there. Yep. And it goes all the way up to easy cowling, normal cowls. This is gonna... I'm actually looking forward to this. Assuming I am not terrible with playing Ren. Which, chances are, I'm going to be too stupid to do so, and I'm probably going to be very bad at it. But as for the points and tiers rewards, they look pretty identical for the most part, up until, yeah, Diamond. They have a different outfit. You know, the outfit looks kind of ugly, but I kind of like the sword. Although the sword just looks like a reskinned version of the timeless one-handed sword or two-handed sword from way back then. But free is free. Who cares? But this time it extends up to an 8th tier, up to 75,000. This is gonna be pretty wild. Although, personally speaking, I don't actually see any worthwhile rewards except for a bunch of cubes. Yeah, sure, cubes are nice, but I still feel like they could have added more stuff to this. But other than that, as for this part of this actual event part for the actual Challenger World, these are going to be showing your base benefits that you get per tier, which is pretty nice. Yep, for most part, EXP stays the same throughout. Basic and the actual boss stats actually go up as well. Ooh, 40% crit, my god. Also, am I the only one who finds this a little weird? The fact that the knockback resistance is... Like, every class has 100% knockback resistance as a passive already. Do they not? Yeah, this feels redundant. Well, either way, there's a bunch of items specifically. If anyone actually wants to stay and watch this, by all means, it's on the patch notes themselves. And moving on to the Challenger World shop, a bunch of stuff as usual, from the same as last time, with the usual quantity limit, so be sure you're spending your stuff accordingly, because it's going to be your Challenger coins that you get from the hunting missions that you can complete per week. And the special tab is going to be the advanced Challenger coins that you can get for doing the specifically harder bosses. And they actually gave us Abyssal Black Flames, which I am going to love. And then from there, we have the Challenger Pass. The Challenger Pass is going to be for Challenger World specifically, again, as it says right here. How to participate. Obviously, you got to be in Challenger World. You got to accept the quest at level 101. And these are going to be your weekly missions that will give you Challenger Pass points. These all look very doable, so no one should have any 30,000 near you. Yeah, I'm not training my mule in Challenger World, so I'm probably not going to get these. But yeah, as for the pass level achievement rewards, these will actually level up based on how many points you get. So, based off of the levels that you reach because of those, which is Oh yeah, if you actually miss a week, you can actually spend 1,000 Maple points to get 100 points. Does not seem equitable if you ask me. But yeah, you can get 3,000 Challenger Pass points per week, so you're probably going to want to check this. As for me, I am probably going to get screwed over on the kills, because I don't want to train. Which is ironic. But yeah, it's going to be a bunch of nice rewards. These are going to be only claimable in Challenger World, so do not feel bad about splitting it, because there's going to be another component later that I'll be explaining. But a bunch of nice stuff that you'll be able to use to help boost your way to actually reaching the level 280 objective, which is wild, but regardless, 280 in Challenger World should be pretty free. And then you got the Premium Pass itself. Yeah, you just spend 20k Maple points for additional mob damage and more EXP, which, personally speaking, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that it lasts... Wait, oh no, it says the duration is down here. Yeah, it lasts until February 23rd. You know, $20 for, well, 20 USD dollars for 20% EXP bonus as a passive. If you're going to be training, personally speaking, I would actually recommend it. That's actually kind of a nice deal. But only if you're going to be training. And if I recall, there's also going to be a premium pass set of items if you buy the pass itself. So not only is this duration plus for the actual EXP benefit that you get is worth, the items on top, even more worth. Also, that's a, wow, that's a lot of Luxe Sauna. Damn, that is a lot of oh wait, that is not a lot of vouchers, but that is a lot of sauna coupons. I might buy it. I might buy it. And then we have Arcane Seal. This is the thing that I was talking about that uses the sealed wands from that store, that I am saying that I will not make a video explaining how to do this unless somebody explains this to me, and then I can actually explain it to you guys. But for the most part, this is a unique event enhancement system that is specific for, well, Challenger World itself, where it is not an actual equipment, but more so something that you upgrade, similar to like that potion effect that we had from the previous Nitro event. But yeah, I'm sorry, but as much as this is an event breakdown video that I'm supposed to be doing, I cannot figure out how to properly explain this without potentially saying wrong information and getting people the wrong information in general. But yeah, it's bonuses, there's tier up requirements. Somebody's got to explain it. Maybe Kobe, Matt, or someone else is better explain this, because I'm not going to try. So yeah, the information's here. If no one bothered explaining it, it's going to be here. I do apologize. And then we have Frontier Pass. Frontier Pass is pretty much just a Challenger Pass, but this one is for every other server except for Challenger World. So if you want to do both, you can. Although the Premium Pass for Frontier Pass is a little expensive. But yeah, pretty much the same exact thing. Weekly missions. Oh, and an important piece of information that I want everyone to stop and listen to me on this one is the fact... Where are you? The character participating in the Frontier Pass cannot be changed. You can only participate in the Frontier Pass event once per account. It doesn't specifically say one character for that world per account on that one, but I'm willing to bet this is going to be per world. But thankfully, it doesn't look like we're going to have any problems with the points, unless I'm looking at this incorrectly, because... who's going to be doing Monster Park on their main? Because I might be doing this on my main simply because of the kills requirement, the bosses. But you might want to pick somebody you do Monster Park on. I feel like this part was a poor choice of design, unless we can skip this batch right here and the dungeon and Monster Park Extreme. So once the server goes live, I'm going to try and look at this and try and make heads or tails and make another follow-up detailed video. But for the time being, I would hold off on assigning someone right away, as we got an entire week anyways, so be careful. But yeah, you can attain a maximum of 2,000 Frontier Pass points per week. It doesn't really say... yeah, you gotta do 20 points. Let's count it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, this might be a problem for me. Unless we can actually skimp off a couple of levels and not actually have to deal with it. But yeah, I'll try and make a rudimentary calculator when the servers go live so I can verify things. If I don't make a calculator, I do apologize. Some of this stuff is a little beyond me. I'm not that smart. Yeah, and as I mentioned, the Premium Pass for the Frontier Pass is $50. But this one at least lasts until the 21st. Yeah, which is why if you're going to be spending 50k Maple points for the additional EXP, it better be on somebody you're going to be playing until April 21st. Yeah, I don't like this one. The design's a little weird, but hey, Oh yeah, of course, the Transcend the Growth Pot is untradeable. I am not using that on my main. And then onto the burning events portion of the actual patch. Tera Blink, I'm not going to really explain this. There's plenty of videos on this already, but I'll give you the really short of it. Tera Blink gives you from 0 to 200 with a lot of benefits and extremely fast. It is a great way to make your mules stronger and make brand new mules if anyone actually needs it. And give me a nice chunk of rewards, a free pet, a free chair. And onwards to the next Hyper Burn of the burning event is the Hyper Burn Max. This one gets you from level 200 to 260. And you get 5 levels instead of the standard 3, so that's very nice. From here, there's going to be a bunch of the rewards. It's going to be from the stuff that you'll be actually able to do for your actual achievements, as you've got to reach certain thresholds. They're going to be interactive and heroic rewards, and then there's going to be Challenger World versions of the rewards. You can only do one per event, per account. So, create your character. Brand new character is going to benefit a lot. You get free cast Word Abyss, which is going to be awesome. And I'm not going to cover the ones on the left, I'm going to cover the ones on the right, because this is the Challenger World stuff. Going to be some better rewards, and it's going to be helping you in the Challenger World in general. Specific items that are specific to that one. So if anyone doesn't care about making the brand new character in Challenger World, and actually doing the Challenger World missions with a Hyper Burn, then you might be able to just skip out on that one, actually. And remember, Ren can be Hyper Burn, so there's going to be that as well. So, once again, check the rewards to see which one you want to do specifically. Unless ultimately you don't care about the rewards, and that's a different story. So, beyond that, speaking of which, we have Beyond Burning. This one is going to be doable for levels 200 to 268 only. And you get 1 plus 1 level. So every level you get is 2. So technically from 260 to 270, you only got to level up 5 times. But according to the wording, either I am wrong, or you can do Hyper Burn Max and then a Burning Beyond on somebody else so long as they're at 260 to 268. Unless this is just very poor wording. I was underneath the impression it was Hyper Burn Max and then Beyond. I guess the Beyond was an additional tack on, I guess, but I could be wrong. But regardless, 260 to 270, English hard. You get a nice chunk of rewards, a nice bunch of fragments too, and extra symbols, so this is definitely going to help people get their actual ecaling, normal cals, solo objectives done, which I'm seriously looking forward to those challenges. That is how you make a good bossing event. Honestly, Ride or Die should be just bossing challenges, not those stupid dungeons, those things suck. Next on, do this. And then we got Item Burning. Item Burning will be available for one character specifically. Where was that? Yep, item burning event can only be completed once per account. So, more than likely, you're going to be wanting to do it in Challenger World on your Hyper Burn or on your Hyper Burn specifically, regardless. To activate it, you got to be level 200 and you have to complete that base quest, which is a greater power, which I think requires you to kill one Arcane Force related mob in Vanishing Journey. I could be wrong. I haven't been there in a while. And you get item for all this stuff. Going to be interactive world perks and heroic world perks, since there's going to be different systems. For example, we don't have bonus potential in heroics, so we won't be getting that. And furthermore, there's going to be a gauge, challenger key, and ignidia. I said that word incorrectly, and people are going to roast me for it, but whatever. This one is going to require you to kill specific mobs at certain difficulties to obtain certain points and the challenger keys and the ignia set effect item to give your Challenger World item, your item burning item, to actually get specific effects, which are going to be additional bonuses, which is going to be nice. I don't know if it's going to double dip it, but I'm willing to bet it doesn't. But regardless, nice chunk of effects. And then afterwards is going to be the other event stuff, which is pretty much just that. The first of which is the character creation guide. This one is pretty much only going to be relevant for anybody who's coming back to the game or brand new to the game. For the most part, everyone can just ignore this unless you're brand new or coming back to the game. So just ignore it. There's really no benefit besides just telling you what to do, guide you generally how to actually improve upon the game, get through the game, and whatnot. And then you got tutorial missions. This one is going to be relevant for people because you could just accept. Reaching certain objectives will allow you to claim these rewards. And you can actually do this on Hyper Burn Max. Oh, you can only do it on Hyper Burn Max. So this is going to be something you'll be completing regardless and pretty much really fast anyways. Gonna be a lot of nice stuff. And speaking of nice stuff, I can't believe they gave us this. Wait, where's the actual hoodie? Oh, I guess we get the hoodie later. Oh, yeah, we get the hoodie later. Yeah, the free annex that we get from this is really nice. It's really stupidly nice. Yeah. Free cosmetics. Who would have thunk? And I believe the Winter Countdown is the last part. I could be wrong. We'll scroll down a little bit more. But Winter Countdown, the winter side of the actual stuff, will be claimable. I don't know why, Nexon, why did you post this UI? This is the wrong one. The left side shows that are claimable, the right side shows that they're not. Nexon, you messed up a little here. Yeah. Ignore this. The left side is gone. It's deleted. It's already expired. The winter gift stuff is going to be the stuff that you can claim. And yes, you can claim this on any character for any of the servers because its requirements is just going to be 101. So I will be claiming this on my Ren character. That's a lot of free boosts and a lot of free fragments. I should give that to my... No, that's going to the Ren. You got a solo Black Mage on that thing. Yep. And Luxe Sauna, as usual, just comes back and makes a return. I probably won't even bother putting that tab. And that's going to be the end of the event breakdown. There's a lot of stuff. I do apologize if anything was incorrect or anything I skipped over as they were not too important details. But if anyone's actually looking forward for the quality of life and mechanical updates video, I will attempt to make one for this one. I do apologize for not doing one last event, simply because there are so many contradicting information, things that were not included, things that I couldn't actually do properly, and things that I couldn't just properly explain without confusing myself in general. So because of that, I do apologize. But this patch, I'm going to try my best, because if I scroll all the way up, actually just to double check, is there any other events that I missed? Nope, doesn't look like it. But yeah, as you can probably tell, there is a lot of stuff. I'm going to try and cover it. I'm going to try. But as for the event breakdown itself, if anyone has any questions or anything that was unclear, please let me know down in the comments. And please watch out for the event skill calculator. I'm going to try and have that posted soon, if I can figure out the math properly. And I will also be doing a live post-patch update video for anything that was incorrect on or anything that needs to be a little bit more explained with the actual UI. Other than that, thanks for watching and the continued support. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.